especially the fresh products, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, which is very rare here. And as we explore the fifth freedom right to Halgesia, Halgesia is more of a semi-desert. So there will be more business to be done in Somaliland. And this one we are trying to work and convince the government to give us the fifth freedom right. But the question is, are we ready? Uganda Airlines may not be able to be ready to be competitive. So you need to help them and urge them to look into their pricing and be able to bring an appropriate aircraft that can bring more services. Kenya is getting a lot of money because it commands the airspace and it dominates, actually. That's why they are able to harvest that much money you are hearing. But also the issue of the cat. The cat in Uganda is the best in the region. But now you need to look at it and see whether we should go more of the ethical line or more of the business so that we can. The demand is very high, but now our hands are tied given the recent regulations that have been put in place. Otherwise, we are looking forward for this forthcoming August JPC, which is supposed to come here in Somalia, and we expect a very good representation from Uganda. Otherwise, last time we were in Kampala, Somalis were more than Ugandan business people. We expect more of our business people to show interest in taking opportunities here. There are lots of opportunities, but Ugandans tend to be to fear. I don't know, they fear too much to explore unknown grounds, and there is a lot of opportunity here, I think, which should not be benefited more by other countries other than the TCCs. We have contributed more, we have shed more blood here, and Uganda has invested a lot of money which we should follow and exploit. It is our given right, the government is in support, but our Ugandan community are shying away from taking the advantage. We have more Kenyans, we have more other international community than we have the Ugandans. With those few remarks, I want to rest my case and wish you a very fruitful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank you and your team for the good job you are doing. And I want also to thank you for representing our country, Uganda, and also flying our flag high. We really thank you for that. And I want to assure you that we have captured all your issues, and we shall consider them in our report to the House. And you will get the feedback as you also follow what is happening in the House. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you. Pretoria, South Africa, are you online? Pretoria? No, you didn't. Pretoria, South Africa? Are you online? Do you hear us? You hear me? Pretoria, South Africa. We are not hearing you.
Hello, Chair.
Yes, you are on.
My name is Gashom from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Pretoria has a challenge of connectivity. They are trying to work on it. Maybe you can.
So can Geneva present?
Ambassador of Pretoria that's in Kampala here, but somewhere in his village is really ready for us. So we need to find out first from the other side, and then we can maybe see how to consider Geneva coming first.
No, didn't. They are waiting for you. They've been asking Pretoria. Have you managed to log in?
Is Dennis the one from Pretoria? Dennis, I'm seeing you talking something. What are you saying? We are not hearing you at all. But I can see you murmuring maybe. When he says connection problem, I can see like Nani said, Gasson said.
Honorable Chair, the accounting, I've just talked to the accounting officer, is just connecting in. Others
Okay. Okay, okay.
Yes, I got you.
Okay, I'll see you.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
good morning,
Dennis.
Chair. We are able to hear you now.
Yes, Dennis, you are on now?
Yes, please.
Good. Yes, I think on our side, we introduce ourselves when you are on, you know who are on this side. We may want to know you on the other side and your team before we start presentation. Can you introduce yourselves, please?
My name is Dennis Kalikola. I'm the accounting officer for Uganda High Commission in Pretoria.
Yes, go ahead. Are you alone? Are you alone? Do you have a... Let your team introduce themselves also, if you have more than one.
Okay, let me...
Dennis?
Yes, Chairman.
You introduced yourself. What about the other team?
The other colleagues, the head of mission is still having problems logging in. And my colleagues are also having a similar problem with the Zoom link.
So you are the only person online?
For Pretoria, currently, I'm the only person who has managed to log in.
Okay. Since they're struggling to log in, maybe we can give you the opportunity to go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you, Chairman.
Because
and
you are the accounting
honorable
officer, not
colleagues.
so. You are the accounting officer.
Yes, I am.
Very good. You can go ahead with your presentation as we wait for the ambassador to log in and others, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chairperson and the honorable colleagues. We did submit to read our responses as submitted to the committee. The first issue that was raised was that in the financial 2023-2024, Parliament approved 23.16 billion through a supplementary budget to selected missions to cater for implementation of ECD activities and fixed costs for running embassies. Pretoria is one of the missions that was selected to receive these funds, and we would like to thank the committee for having been selected. Here are some of the achievements that we registered under ECD for financial 2023-2024. The mission organized the second session of the Uganda-South African Trade and Investment Summit in Kampala in September 2023. This was a follow-up of the first session that was held on the sidelines of the President's visit to South Africa in February 2023. Among the outputs of the second session was signing of a joint declaration between Uganda and South Africa on promotion of trade and investment. We signed an MOU between Uganda Industrial Research Institute and Hexagon Company for establishment of a manufacturing hub for electric transformers in Kampala. And actually, this company is now operational in Kampala. They established a company there. We also signed an MOU between Uganda Investment Authority and Invest South Africa for cooperation in information sharing for promotion of investment between the two countries. During that Trade and Investment Summit in Kampala, we facilitated a guided tour for the South African delegation to the Sinnoh Kingfisher fields. We were supported by the Petroleum Authority of Uganda and Uganda National Oil Company. They identified areas of cooperation, including technological transfer, capital to support oil and gas exploitation infrastructures, and attraction of South Africa's expertise in financial markets. We also used the same opportunity to give the South African delegation a guided tour of the Hoima Industrial Park and International Airport. And they identified areas of cooperation, including support to the oil refinery and airport operations, services, infrastructure, and logistics. A small section of the South African delegation was given a guided tour to Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary in Lake Victoria with the objective of promoting Uganda's tourism. Honorable Chair, during the period, we also organized the first ever convention of Ugandans in Southern Africa in November 2023. Our focus was on promoting trade, investment, tourism, and remittances by the Uganda diaspora in Southern Africa. This convention brought together over 400 Ugandans, both from the region and home. We had members of parliament attending, we had ministers attending, we had private sector representatives and sponsorships from DFCU Bank, PSFU, Uganda Development Bank, Comfort Homes, and Federal Foods, among others. The key outcomes of the convention were business-to-business engagements, community networking, establishment of an interim leadership structure for the convention, and we also unveiled what we termed the Uganda Diaspora High Achievers Award. This convention will be an annual event, and the next one is scheduled for October 2024. Honorable Chair, during the period, we also held a one-day business forum in collaboration with Westgrow. Westgrow is the official investment and trade promotion agency for Cape Town and Western Cape Province of South Africa. The primary objective was to promote Uganda's trade, investment, and tourism. Through both virtual and physical presentations, we shared key investment opportunities and bankable projects to a diverse audience of leading businesses in Western Cape Province. The areas covered including agro-value addition, infrastructure, mining, oil and gas, tourism, and ICT. Some of the entities from Uganda that participated in this business forum were URA, Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Airlines, Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Export Promotions Board, Great Lakes Coffee, and Uganda's trade representatives to South Africa. Chair, recently, we collaborated a visit to Uganda of a technical support team from the Botswana Vaccine Institute to intervene in the current outbreak of the foot and mouth disease in Uganda. The team were in Uganda from 9th to 19th February to collect blood samples for disease strain identification, and thereafter develop strain-specific vaccines for immediate use in the cattle areas around Uganda. The samples are currently undergoing diagnosis testing in Botswana, and we anticipate that the full report will be out before end of April 2024. Chair, during the period, we also collaborated the strengthening of cooperation and trust between Uganda Revenue Authority and South Africa Revenue Services. In August last year, Uganda and South Africa agreed to start the implementation. They agreed to start the implementation of the Authorized Economic Operator Mutual Recognition Agreement that was signed earlier in Pretoria during the first session of the Uganda-South Africa Trade and Investment Summit. Under this arrangement, both countries shall recognize and accept the AEO status of each other country's traders, which means beneficiaries can benefit from the agreement from both countries. These include priority custom clearances, sharing of information, and ensuring expeditious processing of goods exported between the two countries. The MRA is expected to save 10% in logistic costs, leading to enhanced trade efficiency between the two countries. Uganda currently boasts of 118 companies under this program. Chairman, in December last year, we strengthened our relationship with 35 tours and travel agencies and members of the South African Tourism Board in collaboration with Uganda Airlines. We had an event whose objective was to strengthen our relationship with them, given their pivotal role in selling Uganda as a favorite travel and tourism destination for South Africans. Some of the issues that we have discussed include the rescheduling of the frequency of Uganda Airlines flights to South Africa, increase in the cargo capacity, expansion of flight routes to other provinces of South Africa, especially Cape Town and the neighboring countries, and acquiring a mid-sized plane for the Entebbe-Johannesburg route. Chairman, earlier in November, we participated in the 20th AGOA Forum with a technical support team from the Ministry of Trade and the AGOA Secretariat. Some of the issues that we shared with the forum on behalf of Uganda was extension of AGOA for a period longer than 10 years, that's for 20 years, renewal of AGOA by mid-2024 to ensure predictability of investments, active support from the US in infrastructure investments, trade facilitation, trade financing, mobilization of FDI and capacity building. We also requested them to align AGOA to the African Continental Free Trade Area through accumulating AGOA to all African Continental Free Trade Area signatories. We also requested them for creation of a public-private dialogue forum beyond AGOA that enables businesses to identify opportunities that address bottlenecks affecting trade and investment between the US and Uganda. Lastly, Chair, we also used the opportunity to defend Uganda's position to the notification of the intent to terminate Uganda as a beneficiary country under AGOA because of alleged engagement in gross violations of internationally recognized human rights. Chair, this was in reference to the failure to address United States concerns about Uganda's Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023. Chair, those are the achievements that some of the achievements that were registered under ECD for this year. Chair, I would also like to share with the meeting some of the challenges that the mission faces while carrying out these activities. The current budget provision is not sufficient to support the increased volume of work within South Africa. Our potential investors are more amenable to face-to-face meetings. This necessitates outreaches by the mission. So there is a need to enhance our travel inland budget to enable us to reach the 6 provinces of South Africa. During our interactions with them, we plan to strengthen our relationship with the provincial leaders, leaders of chambers of commerce, and to also facilitate business forums similar to the one we held with West Group. Chair, we also require staff capacity building and training on ECD activities from institutions like Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Export Promotions Board, Uganda Tourism Board, and Uganda Coffee Development Authority. The other challenge we have is that the promotional and branding items that we currently have at the mission are outdated. For example, the tourism promotion materials still has the old brand of Visit Uganda. We do not have the Explore Uganda option at the moment. There's also need to distribute, updated materials at missions. We also require regular replenishment of promotional materials like coffee and tea, especially from Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Chair, there is also a lack of disaggregated information in the investment compendium with explicit amounts required for each of the sectors of investment. Otherwise, the current investment compendium that we have is a very large and bulky document, which prospective investors don't find user-friendly. The mission also lacks the necessary modern equipment to adequately exhibit what Uganda has to offer at investment, trade, and tourism events. This includes a modern projector and an LCD screen with a tripod to mount at our stalls. Lastly, Chair, for the challenges, we have an issue with the negative publicity, due to fraud cases. Some companies and individual investors from Southern Africa have experienced outright fraud when trying to invest in Uganda. Unfortunately, they are mainly those who find information and try to carry out their business ventures without first consulting the High Commission. They only fall back to the mission with complaints after having been defrauded. These are mostly tender fraud cases with the government. Lastly, Chair, I would like to use this opportunity to share with the meeting the funding gaps in relation to the national budget priorities and the second budget call circular for this financial year. South Africa faces high electricity and fuel costs due to the current energy crisis in the country. As a way forward to this issue, we plan to purchase and install solar panels as alternative sources of energy at the Chancery and Ambassador's official residence. We also face high civil maintenance costs at the Ambassador's official residence due to the old plumbing system. There is need to replace them with modern plumbing systems. Chair, as you're well aware, the security situation in South Africa is rather alarming. So there is urgent need to enhance security and ICT systems at the Chancery and official residence. This includes CCTV cameras, alarms, and gate motors. Chair, we also need to replace the old furniture and fittings, especially at the Ambassador's official residence. And Chair, lastly, there is need to create more office space at the Chancery. Actually, there is need to redevelop or build a new chancellery. The current chancellery is not sufficient to even accommodate the current staff members that we have. And lastly, we need this point. I'm repeating it again. We need to enhance the travel abroad budget, facilitate our work in the 5 countries of accreditation of Namibia, Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, and Zimbabwe. This includes the planned joint commissions of cooperation between those countries and Uganda. And lastly, we need to, of course, enhance our travel inland budget to support the increased volume of work within South Africa. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, AO. I can see the ambassador is online now. As you were presenting, I saw him coming over. I want to welcome you, Ambassador H.E. Amoropo. I understand you are within, and you were supposed to have at least 2 communications, opening remarks and also the closing one. Maybe I will give you the opportunity to say your opening remarks. You will make the closing remarks later. Thank you.
I also want to thank the accounting officer, Dennis, for standing in. My apologies for the poor connection I am having, and I'm using also when voice to start by registering for the commit to support the Ministry of Foreign. There's a lot of renewed of progress in the activities.
The network is, completely lost. Excellency Ambassador, you are off. I think everybody does.
Yes, Chair, I can hear you well.
Very good. Your ambassador has gone off. I think he has a serious network problem wherever he is. Go ahead. I'm going to give a chance to basing on your presentation.
Chair. We thank you for your presentation. And thank you for the good work admission. Priorities, of course, of more developed planning issues. I think our secretariat, and hopefully you presented the things, and it's not only youth, a general that's being addressed for a lot of the missions. Now, you I think supplementary percent to supplementary. We passed 23, 24, and that supplementary, and this is the activities and which is that
Chairman, I'm not hearing. I'm not.
Oh,
I think
what do we do? It's challenge with network.
Are you on? Dennis, are you on?
I did not hear the well.
Yeah. Yeah.
The volume is quite low.
Volume,
Hello?
issues. You can hear now. Video is freezing. So maybe there's a problem that.
You are hearing?
I can.
Just want to repeat. You is low, okay?
The volume is
Okay,
still
let me start
low.
again. Volume is still low. It's not our problem. Towards this end. Anyway, okay. About a proposal for 20 is what the technical problem.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I have a question. If Dennis is cut off, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ambassador, and congratulations. You were asking about the supplementary loans for ECD. Whether it was received and what activity on okay, fine.
Honorable Chair, sorry, giving my open and pray that all of you keep on and
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, we cannot we cannot comprehend what maybe your submission, your comment to the Secretariat.
Matter on this side.
But at the moment you are hearing me like, can close this one because accounting officer, all the funding gaps we have about them, and when you just mentioned them without going to
I've had you.
it's good the HE is hearing. Let him quantify the funding gaps and also update this HE.
Yes.
The team that visited you earlier in February, at least between us and in effected now when they reported that
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Chair, as the ambassador a challenge with his network, I can answer something about the visa waiver matter that he visited Pretoria. In several meetings, between the Department of and our Ministry of Internal Affairs with regards to this issue. Discussing the draft text for the agreement ultimately lead to a for visa waiver. Text was agreed to, I think, and we expect the minister responsible for immigration are going to meet in Cape Town this quarter to signing that agreement and announce the issue of visa waivers holders for South Africa.
Oh, that's great. We pray the process should be expedited. Okay, what about as far as the ambassador was rated, but by them you quantify and justify, so that, I mean, straight to the House or to the Budget Committee.
Honorable Chair, justifications for each of them.
Ambassador will have wanted him to give, but now to say before we sign you off. Dennis?
Honorable Chair, to share the required close of the day.
Once again for the good job you are doing for. We really thank you for presenting flag high in South Africa. Concerns, and we shall consider the all will do well.
Thank you, Chairperson, and we thank you and
thank you. Whenever you are still on, you never shoot the line. They never. They never was. They never was. Who was there? Is there anybody there that we can take? They never.
Yes,
That
hello,
is
Honorable Chair.
Oh, thank you. And
the head of mission. But she'll introduce herself as well.
you. Maybe we first introduce Max, yeah?
I'm a counselor. My colleague Faith Logose. I'm a counselor by rank, but our financial attaché is online. The chair, with your permission.
Yes, thank you very much, Mary. My name is Faith Logose, and I'm the financial attaché for the mission. Nice to meet you all. Thank you.
The opening remarks.
You're welcome, Ambassador.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So the head of mission, Ambassador, who has been unable to join due to other commitments. But I have to do as quickly as possible. The mission, very briefly, achievements and some of the challenges that invite the accounting based in the ministerial policy state. The mission in addition to non-governmental, the breadth of the kind of work. Actually, we work with the government, but we also have to do this work to ensure effective, adequate representation. Honorable Chair, I'll start. As you may know, Switzerland is it's prosperous because it has a population. It has its GDP is Switzerland has a per capita compared to our own that is somewhere around 1,000. So from these statistics, it tells you that opportunities for economic and commercial relations. As far as trade numbers I have just spoken about, but as trade is concerned, also concerned the huge, for your information, until recently has been a Swiss, that investment over 100. As far as tourism is, potential for tourism also is really Swiss are the, in other words, they're the people who travel most than they do. So we have an area on trade investment. Later on, we'll be able to tell you really should, despite this. Politically, we are in authorities here to ensure of how they work with the international